Good morning. I'm a little early today. Let's see if I can get this camera thing straightened out. I might have to get a crook in my neck. I raised everything up a little bit and put a different angle on it. I've got my cup of something warm and wonderful. And today I got little birdies. And I noticed on my calendar that today is Flag Day. So I put my flag shirt on. Yeehaw! Here's to the United States of America and our flag, which I love. Since I've learned how to make everything the right direction on our little podcast or video cast or whatever we're calling it, I may hang my big flag in here. I have one that's made by some veterans, and I can't wait to hang it. But I didn't want to hang it when I couldn't make it do the right direction. So I may get that hung this week. Or maybe today. Who knows? So we've been going on our body clutter journey. Today is Thursday of our body clutter journey, and we've been discussing our excuses. And then I told you today we would be talking about forgiveness. Now, if you're having bad feelings towards somebody, those bad feelings don't do anything but hurt you. That's it. They don't hurt anybody else but you. The cat just went out the door, and the door's open now. And I think I'm going to get up and go shut it. Hold that thought. Do you think I can reach it from here? But I have some tools that will let me do that. My handy dandy let's see, it is my microphone will go a long way. That worked. I'm back. This is our multi-one. It shuts doors too. I guess I could put a mop handle on it and it would shut it from right here. But I'm not going to do that. Anyway, last night we were headed toward Asheville. We thought about going to eat at Ruby Tuesday because I've been trying to get more salads into my body. And it started a bad thunderstorm. And we got to Mills River, which is about a little over halfway there. And I said, honey, they got a nice little salad bar there. And it's got fresh vegetables on it and all kinds of good stuff. So why don't we go there? So we stopped there and ate. And I got a salad plate with lots of veggies, a lot of cucumbers, a few tomatoes. They are high in carbs. But some good vegetables. Beautiful red peppers. No cheese. A little ranch dressing. And I started practicing eating slower. So I ordered an appetizer too, which was mushrooms. And the mushrooms had a very light breading on them. Not much. Sometimes it didn't have any on it. And they were served with a ranch dressing. They were quite tasty. And mushrooms have a lot of niacin in them. So I'm trying to get more niacin in my body because it's good for you. And I would eat a mushroom, and then I would eat the mushroom. I would slice in two. So I'm using my knife and my fork. And then I would take a bite of salad. And I put my fork down, and then I would take a drink of iced tea. And And Robert finished his salad and his mushrooms long before I did. I never finished my salad. And I think I eat so fast in the past that my stomach couldn't catch up to my head. So slowing down, it sort of it gives your stomach time to talk to your head and say, I'm full. And I'd ordered some stuffed flounder, which was broiled, but they put a lot of seasoning on top of it. And so I ate the underpiece that didn't have any seasoning on it. And I picked out the crab because the other was bread. So I got a little tiny clog this morning in my throat, but other than that, we're good. So that was my experiment in slowing down my eating process, was last night, and it worked pretty well. I was totally satiated, and here I am for another day. So let's talk about forgiveness. Let me tell you a little story. A long time ago. Well, when I was 10 years old, and so that's been 52 years ago, my mother and father got a divorce. And Daddy traveled a lot. All of us were born in different places. I was born in Detroit. My sister Patty was born in Birmingham. My sister Leanne was born in California, and my sister Dina was born in Mayfield, Kentucky. So we're four corners of the country pretty much, except Kentucky's the middle of the country. So we were all over the place, and I have another sister that's born in northern Alabama, and then I have a brother that's born in Texas. So he traveled for his job. Hot water does break the phlegm. That's a good idea. Hot coffee does too. And so does salt water. So he was always traveling. So when Mother and Daddy got a divorce, he was living in central Kentucky. I think it was Central City, Kentucky. And my sisters went to stay with him, and I didn't. And then one summer I did. I think the summer I was 14, I did go stay with him. Because, when you're 14 years old and you're a girl, you can start your period. Well, I started my period when I was at Daddy's. That's kind of weird. Anyway, being moved around a lot, and then while we were gone, Mother moved to Tennessee, which was a good thing, but we still moved to Tennessee. And changing schools, I changed schools 3 times in 3 years, pretty much. It's hard on a little kid, and I kind of blamed Daddy. He was never there for us ever, and it was just, I blamed him. And I was brainwashed too by Mother, which is never a good thing to do. If you're divorced and your children's fathers in their lives, don't say bad things about your ex-husband, because that just makes it hard on the children. But it had been many, many years, and I had this resentment built up, and it was really bad. And I just decided that I would just start praying for God to release me from this resentment. Just start praying that God would release me. And it was just a simple prayer. Please, God, release me from this resentment and hatred toward my father. And one day, out of the clear blue, my sister Patty calls and says, Daddy's here. He wants to see you. And I said, okay. And he came over to our house. Justin was about 9 years old. And I got to meet my baby brother. That's why I knew he was around, because I met him when he was about a year old. And he was just walking, barely walking, and had really curly black hair. So, and it was just, I had to search for him for 30 years, well, 25 years to be able to find him. And when I did, I think he found me on Ancestry.com. That's our ancestry story. And he's just a sweetheart. Got 3 boys, and our dad wasn't the greatest dad in the world, but he did give us life. I have a sister who right now lives in South Carolina, and it is what it is. Anyway, but I forgave him. It took a while, but I finally released it, and then before he passed away, we made amends. And I told him that I knew things weren't always the way Mother portrayed them now, that I was a grown woman, and that he had to do what he had to do. It's just that simple. So that forgiveness helped me to release a lot of that anger. And that forgiveness frees you up. It keeps those thoughts of anger away, and it releases good endorphins in your body. And the Bible also teaches us to forgive 70 times 7. Now, last time I did the math on that, that was 490 times. Imagine that. 490 times. You just have to keep forgiving. And that's one of the things that I've noticed in politics today, is that, North Korea's been bad, but maybe we can forgive their actions and let go of the hatred that we've had toward them. And maybe we can go over there and save some souls and bring people to Christ. That's my biggest thought about all this, is that the borders will open up, and our missionaries can go in and help provide some wonderful things for these people. I've seen missions from Franklin Graham all the way to Salt Lake City, and our Mormon friends who go into communities, put water wells in, and help people. And that's what we're called to do, is to be a help to people, to show them by our example what love really is, show them by our actions. But when we hate people, we can't do that. So I want us to love everybody, but it starts with loving yourself enough to let go of that hatred. We have to let go of the hatred toward others, the self-hatred that we portray all the time. We have to let go. And let this be the summer of love, as Scott Adams has said, and Kanye and everybody else. Let this be the summer that we learn to love each other. We learn to love each other. So, what can we do to help others? Yes, day before yesterday, I met my next door neighbors, and I have to be honest, I didn't meet my previous next door neighbors that had been there for a couple of years. I was gone when they moved in, and it's just, I didn't go over there, but I'm the one that I reached out and said, okay, and when I got over there and met Laura, I said, can we exchange phone numbers? If you need anything, you've got mine, and if I'll call you, and here we go. We're starting a friendship. Now, they got to do a remodel. They've got to make the house handicap accessible for her, but hey, we're good. We're good. It's a start. Reach out and pick up the phone and call somebody today. Let's love others. Go to a flag ceremony if you have one in your community. Listen to, there's a fella every day he's been doing like 800 days, the Pledge of Allegiance, on the internet. He's a country star. I can't think of his name right now. Somebody will think of it. He does the Pledge of Allegiance every day. So reach out and touch somebody today. Love somebody else. And maybe when you cook dinner, fix a plate for the little lady down the street. We have to be good neighbors. We have to love each other. And today the World Cup's starting. I think there's something going on today. Anyway, sports can bring us together. I think sports may have helped Chairman Kim to realize he wants to be in the real world, not isolated. And when we stay in our houses and we're surrounded with clutter, that is our form of isolation, because we won't let anybody in. So we've got to let go of our clutter. Yes, it's Neil McCoy. We have got to let go of our clutter so that we can be a good neighbor, so that we can open up our doors to our neighbors. But it starts here at home. It starts with getting your front room in order. And we're in zone 3 this week, and we've been doing a round robin of hot spots in all the rooms, all these things. If we can get our own homes in order, we can reach out to the neighborhood. Maybe you plan a 4th of July in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, a 4th of July block party in your neighborhood, or maybe on your cul-de-sac, where everybody gets together and the kids play in the street and you block the streets off and you do something fun. The best way to have a party is to have a potluck. I got invited to Danville, Virginia yesterday, for this fall, and I suggested to my friend who asked me to come up there and speak, why don't we have an old-fashioned church potluck? How cool would that be? I remember those. So folks, let's reach out, plan some stuff. That's the quickest way to get your home in order, is to plan a party. And if you're going to a party and you have to take something, make something that you can eat. So if I go to a party and I'm going to take a potluck, I'm going to make something that I can eat. So I'll probably make a salad of some kind. Everybody likes something green. Well, y'all have a good day. Put your flag out. Here's to the United States of America. That's where I live, and that's where I'm proud to be from. And everybody have a great day. I love you all.